Hi guys, I started looking at this tractor, see if we could get it working. 27 megahertz, this one, and I went through my box full of transmitters or controllers and none of them match it. So I'm going to put that one aside for now and have a look at this instead. It's a Nikko 40 megahertz, it says on it somewhere here, 40 megahertz down there. And I've just been through my box of 40 megahertz controllers and none of them want to speak to it. Now I did wonder whether it was this controller, which is the one I've done a video on where I've had to add a bit of wire to the controller, to the chip, to actually get it going. So I've tried it with that bit of wire on there and it doesn't talk to it, and I've taken the bit of wire off and it doesn't talk to it. So I'm going to take it apart and just check we are actually getting battery all the way through to the receiver before we panic. Well, we're getting voltage to the back of the board, so it's not a problem with the battery supply. While we're looking at the battery supply, this is one of those ones that's got an extra wire coming up from the battery box. It's got a white wire, a red and a black. I think this is for one of those ones where you've got turbo boost. So you normally run it on less voltage, and then when you press the turbo button it gives you the full voltage. So if I go on negative there and on the white wire, so you've got about 4 volts, and if I go on the red wire we've got 5.5 volts, so it gets you an extra 1.5 volts. So I think that's what that is. I think that's a turbo boost. This is also one of those ones, looking at those very thin wires, I bet this is one of those ones that's got the magnet steering at the front instead of a normal motor. I think I've done a teardown on this one before. Before I go any further, I'm going to go and have a look at the old videos, see if I've done a teardown. Good job I went and checked my previous videos. I've done 3 videos on this car already. First one was when I'd originally bought it from a charity shop. Second one was when I changed out the receiver so I could actually get it working, because I had established it didn't work with that receiver, or at least none of my transmitters spoke to it. So I changed out that receiver, put a different receiver in there just so we could run it backwards and forwards. And then the third video, I put the original receiver back in again because I'd thought of something that I might have missed the first time. As it turns out, I didn't. So that's why it's got the original receiver back in there. I put it back to check what I'd done. So the bottom line is, I already know, if I'd actually checked my previous videos, none of my transmitters or controllers talk to it. So I could order one of these little 2.4 gigahertz modules online from AliExpress. I got one the other day. This is one I got a couple of years back, which is 40, which is why I got an X on it to remind me. Otherwise, that would be a perfect fit in there, and we'd jump straight to 2.4 gigahertz toy grade. Not hobby grade, still toy grade, but that would do the job. Or we go all the way to hobby grade conversion, and I think I might do that this time. So we'll take that receiver out, put some suitable connectors on the motor and see if we can get a servo to fit in the front there to do the steering. So we might as well have a quick look at the steering and see if there's any space before we get all carried away. Okay, there's our magnet or coil that does the steering. So there's a magnet in there, and depending on which way the current flows through that coil, depends on whether that swings to the left or the right. So if we take that out entirely and take that out, and we can see if we've got enough room to fit a little servo in there. Let's see what I've got. Right, metal gear servo and an ESC. This is one of the ones I don't like using because it's got a brake on it. I don't know if you can see I've written B on it there somewhere. Probably don't need a metal gear servo for this one. I just think an ordinary plastic gear would do the job. I'm just looking to see if it'll fit in there. So take all this out. We can fit that in there. Might even be able to use the existing push rod arm, whatever you want to call this bit. Okay, so that's the plan. We'll go hobby grade. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.